I was afraid to score goals as an 80-year-old who was playing soccer, right, in the local soccer team. And I went deep into, hey, if you're afraid of your own powers, here's what I want to tell you in the next 10 minutes. That's your asset. That's your strategic advantage.
Hello and welcome to Center for Victory's podcast of Your Best Day Yet. At Center for Victory, we're here to help unlock, reinforce, and enrich relationships through personal and professional development. I'm Eric Guy, Chief Victory Officer here at the Center for Victory. With me today, very interesting guest. Looking forward to diving deep with this gentleman, Simon Severino, all the way from Vienna, Austria. Today, this is the last thing he's going to do today before a date. But welcome, Simon. I mean, you've got lots of experience that we can dive into, so much stuff to cover, but welcome to the show, sir.
Thanks for having me. Hello, Eric. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Simon, you're the author of Strategy Sprints and the CEO of Strategy Sprints. What do you do?
I'm a sales coach. I started as a business coach 22 years ago. I was helping the big companies, the Fortune 500, to stay number one, because number two was coming for them. They were trying to take their market shares, and they would say, guys, I need strategy consulting. Come in. We need a strategy to stay number one. So I learned a ton about how to enter a market, stay in the market, and find a defendable market position. And I did fall in love with the topic. 22 years later, I'm still doing exactly that thing, helping entrepreneurs enter market, stay in the market. And what they pull most from me right now is sales questions. How do I fill my pipeline? How do I find the right people? How do I get to talk to the right people? And how do I make them an offer that they buy at great prices? That's the people that I'm serving, how to fill pipeline. That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, and you must be pretty good at it, because you've been a TEDx speaker, right? You're a podcast host, Forbes contributor. Not only that, you're pretty successful outside of business. Aren't you a triathlete?
I was. Now I have 3 kids. They are my triathlon.
Okay. As far as being a TEDx speaker, what was that topic on? Was it on the sales and things like that we're going to be talking about?
TED has such a broad audience that I had to find a very, very broad topic. It was a challenge. I was like, if everybody's listening, what do you say? Right? It's not the usual people that I talk to, the entrepreneurs asking me a sales question. It's like everyone. What would you say to everyone? And so I went deep into my own childhood, looking for and remembering how I was afraid to score goals as an 80-year-old who was playing soccer, right, in the local soccer team. And I went deep into, hey, if you're afraid of your own powers, here's what I want to tell you in the next 10 minutes. That's your asset. That's your strategic advantage. And so that became the Tedx Talk.
What is it? What's the actual title?
Oh, I forgot. But it's something about your superpowers or your strategic advantage.
Okay. I want to check it out.
Yeah.
And then 2, I think, after we're done, I think our listeners and watchers will want to check it out as well. So, one of the things that the areas that you talk about, Simon, are the steps to repeatable sales, right? And I think everybody's looking for that. Obviously, in my line of work, I'm very interested in that. A lot of the peers that I have, very interested in that. What do you mean by, those? Was it 8 steps to repeatable sales?
Mm-hmm. They are here just behind me. People watching, it's the yellow pyramid. That's the exact 8 steps. And I have the same pyramid in front of me, because in every sales call, I use them as a guiding stone. Each step is a stone that guides me through the river of a conversation, which is unique. But I have to pass through those 8 things, and I have to do these 8 things in the right order. And when you are in a sales conversation, you immediately get emotional because you either want to close the deal too much, that's not good, or you don't want it enough, that's also not great. So, and the other person, they also want something. So there's too many emotions in there, and this helps me navigate the best way for everybody in the conversation. I can give you an example. Many people in the first minutes, they go, okay, tell me the price. When that happens and you don't have your 8 steps, you're going to lose the deal 100%. Because what then mostly happens is people say the price too early. If you say it too early, it's over. And it's never about the price. So step 6 is about the price. But step 1 is visualization. How do you whiteboard what they are saying in front of them so that you actually see what they're saying and they see that you are listening? Because the most important thing online is to create trust, especially in the age of AI. So how do you create trust with a stranger quickly over Zoom? That's step 1, visualization. So I start literally writing down right now what they're saying, and they feel heard, understood, and seen. And this is step 1. Only after that happened, we move to step 2, which is, okay, what's pissing them off right now? Because if you don't find something that's an actual frustration in the body, you are just talking in the head and you are too early in solutions. You have to stay in the problem for a while. So from 2, when we have the frustrations, we move to 3. 3 is the importance. How important is this? 4 is what happens if you do nothing. Is that fine? But that's the cost of inaction. And then from 4, we move forward to deliverables. If they get to 5, this is where you will make them an offer. They will again ask you for the price. You will not yet say a price because you will create with them a solution package first. So if this is the problem, if there is where you want to go, what are the 3 deliverables, over which kind of time frame are we talking about? And then you will ask them if they have budgeted already something for that. And then there will be a step to find a budget range. They will tell you the budget. Now you will make an offer. Step 6, investment of time and money. And if you do that in this order, they have always the feeling that they are in control. They are deciding, they are driving. So you will have 0 resistance because they are driving. And so then step 7 is starting date, and step 8 is the statement of work and getting that signed. That's the contract.
Wonderful. And
that's the repeatable sales.
Still, you yourself still follow that, correct?
Every day, and I have a little AI here which pops up. It's like Jarvis in real time. It shows me if I'm doing it or if I'm skipping something.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool too.
It's, it's like NBA players practicing leg work. You would go, those guys, they know how to stand on their legs. They know how to walk. They don't have to do leg practice, right? But they do. Why do they do that? Why do they practice leg work? Moving faster, left to right, moving down, moving up, jumping. Why are they know how to jump. Why do they need to practice jumping? Because if you want to be in the 1%, you practice the basics every day until you can jump 3 inches more than your competitor, and that makes the difference.
So you also talk about resilience. And obviously you've been doing this for a while. So again, you're obviously pretty good at it. Where would you say like that unbreakable resilience comes from? Or one, how did you establish it for yourself? I mean, did you just come out of the gate like you had it? Which I'm guessing you probably didn't. But how did you develop, and what advice would you give our listeners?
Every day is overwhelming. So I would say, as an entrepreneur, as a person in business, every day is overwhelming. But if you add having kids on top of that, you are in a perfect double stressful situation all the time. So how do you stay in the resilience zone? One thing that works for me is really taking care of myself before I serve others. So the first 2 hours of my day are for me, only for me. I wake up before my kids wake up, and the first 2 hours are only for me. I do something that's good for me, like working out, reading books. Then during the day, I try to keep things simple. I'm here to serve one category of people, that's entrepreneurs, and I'm here to help them solve one problem. That's the sales problem. So I keep it very simple since 22 years. By keeping it simple, I automatically become a little bit more competent each week because I'm learning more. So now I go deeper. Going deeper gives me back this feedback. Hey, you know your stuff. When I hear that, my confidence level goes a little bit more up. I have a little bit more energy to serve again. That's one of the positive loops that helps me keep going. It's this feedback that it works. And the precondition for that is staying long enough in my lane so that I can go deep into that. Because right now, many people, they click two things and they are now an AI consultant. Yeah, okay. But you can also stay long enough in one thing until you are actually good at it. And that will be so much less stressful for you. So that's one thing, staying in my lane. The other thing is making it fun. So if you look at my room, there are colors. I'm not in an enterprise setting that somebody else designed for me. I am the designer of my day. So that's the second thing that keeps me resilient is I design the day around my needs, around my passions. And that is actually very high on my priorities list. You will ask me later what's a great day for me, right? One element of that is that I decide what I do on that day, and I can say no to people, to projects, to commute. I hate commute. So there are specific things. For me, it's being able to schedule my own agenda every day. That's very important.
Those are good tips. And I'm just thinking of especially like younger people. Like, what are some things that you would say to them? Because they just want things right away. I mean, the whole fact of staying in your lane and going deep, um, really rings true for me. I really resonate with that. But what would you tell young people?
One thing that I wish I would have learned in my 20s already is the compounding effect of things. So you think that if you invest $100 every week into something, that you will never get rich. Think twice. If you are in your 20s, you put $100 every week. That's a lot of money if you put it just into assets. Assets are something that, for example, you put it into Amazon, which is a great company, right? And you can earn a little part of Amazon. And if you keep that for 30 years, that's a very good idea. So instead of buying an Hermes bag, buy $100 of Hermes every week or every month. That's what I would tell a young person. That's one compounding effect, investing and actually building assets. Another compound effect is hanging out with high quality people, people who inspire you to do your best work. That also compounds. And also your skills, like reading books, compounds.
Yes, it does.
Today, I don't even think university is important anymore. I think it's really important to read books and to watch the right YouTubers. If you select the right YouTube channels, you learn more than in MBAs and faster, and that compounds also.
Yeah. So I'm interested to get your thoughts on this ROL, return on luck. What do you mean by that?
It builds also on the compound effects because You look at people and you go, oh, that person got so lucky, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
but you didn't see that the last 10 years, the grind, right? So, oh, yeah, he's a millionaire. Yeah, but did you see how many hours of work he put in every year? So who gets lucky? The people who make the conditions for luck to hit them. How do you get hit by luck? By walking in the middle of the street, not in the side of the street. You want to get hit by that luck bus in your face. You have to walk in the middle of the street. What's the difference, right? What's walking in the side line is just never trying, never risking anything. Playing it safe. Watch what other people do and then comment about what they do. That's playing it safe. You are living on the sidelines. You will never get hit by the luck bus. But if you walk in the middle of the street, right, you start your podcast, you write a book, you start with a blog, first blog post. Yes, everybody will laugh at you. Let them laugh. The first 100 blog posts are terrible. Okay. But when you have hit 300, you will be onto something. You have an asset. You are building your destiny.
Yeah, I love that. Hit with the luck bus. That's a great analogy too. Thank you for that. I mean, that's actually a really good analogy. I think a lot of people, especially younger people, will resonate with that. Next question here. What do you mean by community driven growth? How's that impact what you're actually teaching people?
I have found that community can be the best marketing. I think that community is the new marketing.
Okay.
And the reason is, think of you're looking for a new CRM software to use. You Google around, you find 3 different options, and you see that one of these options has YouTubers creating videos about it. Which software do you feel more attracted to?
Yeah.
Most people, they go, okay, I go with the one with the videos about it. And the reason is, when you're a buyer, there is always a risk. What if I buy it and it's the wrong decision? What if I lose money? What if I lose reputation? What if I lose time?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if there is a vibrant community around it, it's a little bit de-risked, because if it would break the reputation of people, there wouldn't be so many people talking about it. If it doesn't work, there wouldn't be videos about it. And also, how long will they be around? That's always a risk, because a few softwares get to be 40 years old, like Salesforce and Microsoft. Most of them, they die in the second year. So how do I know that they will be around? Well, there is a buzzing community, and some insolvencies are saved by communities. For example, Lego, the company, was almost insolvent, but then so many users, Lego lovers, they said, no, guys, you don't go out of business. We need you guys. Okay, we're gonna help here. We step in here. You stay here. We need Lego. And it was the parents of the users, right? And so if you have a community, it de-risks. So these are some examples of why a community can be a powerful marketing instrument. And for example, I run a community. It's called the 200K Club, where people learn to add 200K to their life by learning sales and marketing. And that community, when they post on LinkedIn, on X, that creates automatically marketing. And people want to buy from people like them. They don't want to buy from us, because we want to sell them something.
Mm-hmm.
But they want to buy from people like them. So when they post, they go, oh, let me have a look at this thing. What's the 200K Club?
That's good advice. That's good advice. So the other thing I'm interested in hearing about is, obviously, and if you're doing sales, you probably want to hear this as well. How to sell hot, not cold.
So you have cold relationships, strangers, warm. They have downloaded something from your website. They have registered to one of your events a year ago. And then you have hot. They really want to buy from you. So many people are wasting so much money and time into chasing the cold ones. I need more leads. Let me put $5,000 into an ad. Ads don't work for most people. Forget it. Stop paying for marketing. I'm I've mentioned 3, 4 organic ways of marketing already. One of them, community. You get even paid for that because those are your paid members.
Mm-hmm.
So don't spend for marketing. Create organic flywheels. And you do that by using your warm and hot relationships. Also, as a sales coach, before we even think about ads or cold calling or cold email, we start with the hot people. So let's look at your pipeline this week. How many people have downloaded something from your website? How many people have tried to jump on your phone? How many people have sent you an email? How many people have registered for one of your events? How many people have read your book this week? How many people have listened to your podcast and asked a question? So you go there first. And most people actually undervalue how many there are. There are 100 opportunities. Most people listening, they have 100 opportunities right there. That's enough for this week in sales. So focus on them. And when you run out of them, you go to the warm ones who registered 3 months ago, who is reading a ton of the emails that I send, but never shows up to an event. That's the warm people. And when you run out of the warm people, then you go to cold. So that's, you start hot, you have better results, you spend less money, it's less risk, it's more fun.
Yeah. And so just a couple more questions here. Your book, Strategy Sprints. Can you just give us a little insight to that? What it's about, and if people read it, what they would get out of it?
Yeah. It took me 22 years to write this book and like 6 months to type it. Because this is 22 years of being in the trenches with teams. How do we enter this market? How do we price this product? How do we promote this online course? Chapter 1 is Ali Abdal, who is a YouTuber, and he's thinking about starting his first cohort of the part-time YouTuber Academy, and he's thinking about what price should I? How do I find the right price? So, and chapter 2 is the next entrepreneur trying to solve the marketing thing. Chapter 3, the next entrepreneur trying to solve the hiring problem. So the book is really a very practical cookbook for entrepreneurs trying to solve the marketing problem, the sales problem, and the hiring problem, which are the biggest problems that we have as entrepreneurs. And if we solve those, we're fine.
Speaking of being an entrepreneur, as you are, you mentioned you have 3 kids, right? How do you balance that out or integrate work and life? You have any tips for folks?
You can't. I have given up. I don't know what balance is. I know only perpetual chaos. And what I'm learning to do is to dance in this chaos.
Yeah.
It's a huge festival. It's crazy. And it's like, the Doors are singing and then there is some techno going on. It's continuous festival and there is no balance. That's my life. How do I still enjoy it? I learn to dance with it. Instead of imposing my will onto the events, I take the events and then run with them. I try to surf with them, right? How can I align with them and use that energy?
I like that answer. I really like that answer. So before we forget, Simon, how do folks find you? Where can we look you up at?
We hang out at strategysprints.com. This is where people can download a ton of our tools and use them directly for free. That's strategysprints.com. If they want to read the book, it's on Amazon. It's called Strategy Sprints. I also hang out on YouTube under Simon Severino and also on X, Simon Severino.
Okay, very good. All right. Well, last question, sir, and then we'll let you go for the day. Really appreciate you being on here. But as we wrap up here, we always ask our guests because it's called your best day yet. How would Simon define your best day yet?
My best day, you know, I have found that I was watching something with my kids and on Netflix. It's beautiful. It's called Archibald's Next Big Thing. And Archibald is in this mindset that right now, that's my biggest day. There is no next day. There is nothing next. And so when I look at myself, I always think about next, tomorrow, next week, next year. There's always something next. So right now, I'm learning to live my day. This day is the best day. This is it. This is it. This is the big day. It's right now. It's happening. That's my best day. So it's mundane. It's cooking breakfast. It's working out. It's listening to people. It's creating prototypes with people. It's talking to people. But the mindset that I'm trying to be more in is, hey, this is it. This is the moment. This is the big thing.
Great answer. Great answer. We'll end it on that. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate you giving us some of those tactics and things today. Wish you a great evening tonight since you're in Austria. A big date coming up, probably, I guess, after this podcast, as you said. But folks, thanks for listening, watching, tuning in. Always be sure to hit that subscribe button, bell icon to get notified when we post next, all that good stuff. And if you need more information, you can follow us at centerforvictory.com. Again, Simon Severino, strategysprints.com. Thank you again, sir, for being on. And just remember, folks, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, make this your best day yet. We'll see you soon.